Right, so I'm going to be doing a comparison between weights of wheels and tires here. So I have 3 different sets that I'm going to be comparing. Actually 4, I'll compare the pins as well. But here what I have is these Proline primes. So these are generally for wet clay. That's what you would use these for. These over here, these are the Proline trencher. These are the SC, and these, I love these tires. These are some of the best tires. You can use them for, well, obviously they're off-road, and they work great, but you can use them for on-road as well, and they grip quite well. You're just gonna wear them out a little faster than if you were using the Proline Street Fighters. I don't have a set anymore, but I've used the Proline Street Fighters, and they work well, but I think these are very good all-around tires. If you do mostly off-road, but once in a while you want to do on-road. These are stock / tires. These are actually brand new, have not run these. So these are off of a 2-wheel drive. The VXL came with these. And these are the pins. Now there's different ones because I run these in the front, these in the rears. So we do have the Prism SCF, and then the Prism SC. This is what I run the rear. So you're gonna notice a weight difference between them. But if we compare the stock, I'm gonna weigh each tire. This is 115, 113, and most of them are around that weight, 113, 112, and 113. And if I weigh them all, 454. So this is how much weight these tires would add to your vehicle. So this is something to keep in mind. The less rotational mass, the faster it's going to accelerate, the faster it's going to brake. These are a lot heavier. So we're looking at 147, 140, 131, 178. That is a massive discrepancy. I didn't realize there was such a difference. These are the stock foams tires. I don't think the wear on them would make such a weight difference, maybe. But if I wear them all together, I'm looking at 597. So as you can see, it's over 140 grams more to run these. So your vehicle is going to accelerate faster. Well, we'll be able to rev up faster. Now, when it comes to accelerating, if it's the engine transmission that's accelerating, it'll be faster with this. But if you're talking about point A to point B accelerating, the compound is going to make a difference. And these, I'll be honest, do not grip as well as these over here. So you will notice a performance difference despite the weight. Now, let's look at these clay. So again, this is something you would use for clay. The positrons are the ones you would use for dry clay. Oh, I didn't read the number out. That was 112, 111, 114, 112. Now, all of these, there is quite a bit of wear on some of them. So this one, and this one has more wear than this one, for example, because I've used them. But still, we're looking at about 448. So these are about the same weight. So if you're used to driving with these, and then you swap out for these, your motor is going to be able to rev up similarly with both of them, assuming the mass distribution is the same. Because keep in mind that when it comes to rotating inertia, the further out the mass is, the more inertia. So you could have 2 wheels that have the same mass, but if one wheel has more mass farther out, that one will have more inertia than the wheel that has more mass closer to the center. So that's something to keep in mind. But let's assume mass distribution is the same. It would be very similar drive. So let's look at these now. So we have the pins 105, 104. Now these should be different, 106 and 108. And these are actually almost new. 425. So these are by far the lightest right here. So you'll notice a difference. If you're driving carpet, for example, these are just going to spin out, so you're not going to accelerate at all when it comes to accelerating from point A to point B. These are not very good either. I've driven them. I have a video on it. So again, you're not going to accelerate very fast. Your motor is going to rev up quickly, but you're just going to be spinning. And you shouldn't be driving those on carpet. These over here are going to give you the best acceleration, one, because they're lighter, and two, because they actually have pins. So there's different components that come into tires. As you can see, these are much heavier than these. For example, this is something you would compare. But these will actually perform better and grip better and accelerate better, despite them being heavy, for that reason, because they grip better. So that's a trade-off. Sometimes you want to go with something lighter, but if you're not getting the traction, it's worthless. You're better off going with something a little heavier, right? For example, you would not take these off-road. That would be a horrible idea. These would perform better off-road. But if we're talking about wet clay, that would be a better choice, and you would notice the difference because of the grip. But these are the different tires, wheels, and I don't have wheels by themselves just to compare the weight. For example, these dish versus these non. But if you look at the plastic, the dish is actually quite thin. It's these little ribs here that reinforce it. Here, the plastic is actually quite thick going this way between here. And these spokes are also the reinforcement. So if you were to take these spokes, let's just say, melt them down to fill this dish, it would be very similar. The distribution would be very similar as far as the masses here. So those are things to keep in mind. I hope this video is helpful, especially if you are concerned about weight or thinking about weight. I will be honest, I was very surprised there was such a weight deviation, such a large weight deviation between these over here. But these are my favorite all-around bashing tires over here still surprising. Other than that, please comment below if you've used any of these. Please comment what are your thoughts, opinions on them, particular wheels. Unfortunately, I don't have the weights. If you have the weights for any of these wheels, please post them, and I will catch you on the next one. Please, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and comment. Until next time.
What? Oh, my hair! My tongue! My rod!